You've just entered into a carbon-based simulation. Your infinite consciousness has downloaded itself into a beautiful, sensory, dimensionally limited avatar, and everything you see here is code. The street, the sky, the people you meet, all projections of the collective server you call reality. Every mind you encounter is part of the same dream, co-creating the illusion. You were born plugged into the system. Gravity keeps your feet on the ground, society keeps your mind asleep, and the rules follow. The rules were designed to make you forget who you truly are. But inside you, there's a memory, a whisper from your higher self that begins to arise. This is not the end. This is the beginning. Your mission is not to escape the simulation. It's to remember what it is, to awaken inside the dream and realize that you are not the character. You are the player. You are the divine consciousness navigating the matrix, the creator disguised as creation. The moment you remember, the matrix starts to bend. Reality responds to your vibration, lateral phase awareness, and every obstacle becomes an initiation, a mirror showing you the way. Because awakening isn't about moving, it's about remembering. If this message resonates with you or something within you, then you're ready to enter the game. Awaken from the dream. And remember that you're the creation, recognizing itself. And you're back. A fractal of awareness, whether it's conscious or not, doesn't negate the fact that it's still a fractal of infinite potential. So we are going to do a little, I'm hearing simulation theory, which is interesting. Simulation theory, I'm hearing that as a keyword, so we're actually going to utilize that as a keyword before opening up. I do want to pull some content messages around this. This is about you being immersed in the illusion of physicality. It's very simple. I've explained this many times. Anything that you touch, you're not actually touching. The negative electrons orbiting the atoms of your hand are just repelling the negative electrons orbiting the atoms of this hand. So there is an illusion of physicality. What I'm saying is that the human condition has lifted. You're seeing life through the lens of the soul. You're remembering yourself as a being that is multidimensional. And I'm also hearing interdimensional aspects of yourself, okay? These are parallel. I'm hearing vortices, which is interesting. Parallel conduits, many dimensionally limited avatars that are designed to navigate the terrestrial or celestial planes. They're designed, they're equipped to thrive within those planes, Earth being one of many that you dwell in. Okay, so simulation theory is the idea that reality as we experience it may not be fundamentally physical, but instead a constructed system like a simulation generated by a deeper level of intelligence or consciousness. It suggests that we perceive as the real world could be similar to a highly advanced program projection or rendering rather than a base layer of existence. Just like video games that have characters inside of a coded world, a dream feels real while you're in it. So if we even think about binary code, right? Source was like the 1, 0, and the binary code of the first one that had emerged from that 0 is a fractal of awareness. Then it begins to actually descend into this construct, and that fractal of awareness slowly begins to wake up. So consciousness wakes up, and that fractal of awareness now becomes conscious awareness. Then it begins to behave very, very differently in the system because it's one of the all, and one are all and all is one. So they begin moving in the system in a way where they remember that there are many ones that Source is experiencing itself as. Okay, you are one of many. So, but the beautiful thing is that Source gets to experience itself through your own subjective lens. So we may be inside of a reality that's being rendered or generated for informational consciousness, right? So this is super beautiful. Let's go ahead and... Oh, I feel like we had a keyword there. How do I remember? Let's go ahead and flow with it. We're going to open up a Cosmos message. I want to take a look at what was the frequency or vibration? What is something collective around the soul incarnating upon planet Earth at this time. Right, you have two messages. The first one is eclipse. The second one is retrograde. Very interesting. This talks about there's something that you come back to again and again. There's a reason why you continuously choose to download and streamline yourself into many different carbon-based life forms and enter into this carbon-based simulation. And with retrograde, it's something that you keep coming back to. Eclipse is you keep coming back to forgetting yourself just to remember, because there's so much joy in that. There's so much joy in the contrast of experiencing life in this construct where you don't remember yourself and then you do remember yourself, where you doubt yourself and then you deeply trust your intuition, where you believe that you are limited and then you remember that you are limitless, experiencing perceived limitations in this realm. Every dimension has certain dimensional laws that we abide by. There's certain universal laws that we're all abiding by, but there is so much fun in being able to kind of test the limits of the dimension that you're existing in, but also remembering that you branch far beyond this system. And that's where you return back to. And then you have constellation. So this is a constellation of self. You're not just one self, but you're a constellation of self. And you on Earth, this is just one of many, right? There's many other parallels in which you're also experiencing yourself as, other planetary systems in which you're also incarnated within simultaneously. This is a life where you're leading a life as an Arcturian, a Pleiadian, other kind of celestial beings, Sirian, Lyran, so infinite. Okay, you have infinite expressions and fractals of you. Now, eclipse talks about something that obstructs your light, mainly its belief systems or the conditioning that we take on upon this planet or construct that obstructs the way or distorts the way that we see ourselves as a creator. And the moment that we clear up those belief systems that we usually adopt as a result of generational conditioning from our bloodline, and we begin to change our relationship to those belief systems, and we bring awareness to those belief systems, and we recognize ourselves as not those beliefs, but the awareness behind the being that holds those beliefs, then we enter into a realm of liberation. Liberation as we no longer identify with that belief system. And we actually begin to shift, and reality also responds to that shift that has occurred within us. Then you're in a complete different ball game. That's what I'm seeing. Let me go ahead and read the eclipse energy so you can see. Eclipse. You're seeing things that you didn't see before. You're seeing yourself differently. Introspection is the fundamental basis of liberation in this system. And there's something in which you've discovered as you navigate your own internal universe, right? And the certain universal laws or belief systems that have governed you. Shadow to light. So you experience yourself as a shadow just to be able to experience and remember your light. One body covers the other totally or partially. The light from one celestial body is blocked by the eclipsing body, which causes it to be temporarily obscured due to the interposition done by the other. The word eclipse comes from the Greek word meaning disappearance or a decrease. Long ago, the Mayans described eclipses as a conflict between the moon and the sun, so they dedicated rituals to solve the problem. This talks about one body blocking the other, so they were not totally incorrect, but the eclipse card refers to a person or thing dulling another by appearing more important. So this is very interesting. It also talks about being able to shine your light at your brightest. An eclipse is temporary. Concealment of a celestial body by interposition of another. Let's check who or what is blocking our light to be able to return to a place where we can be totally visible and shine bright like a diamond. Then you have retrograde. So there is so much satisfaction in the grand scheme of things. Sometimes we don't know why we're experiencing things in the moment. We don't understand the importance of it, the importance of, I'm hearing the tales that we live to tell, the poem that we begin to embody, the story that we have the privilege to watch unfold when it comes to returning to our own remembrance again and again. That's a romantic love story of returning back to your own heart, my friend. And there is something in which your soul thoroughly enjoys. It enjoys the forgetting of oneself just to be able to remember. And it's very, easy for a cosmic being, a celestial being, when incarnated into this realm, prolonged embodiment within the human vessel and this very dense plane, can lead to one forgetting its etheric origins. And you fall into this amnesia, this human amnesia, believing that you are human and that's all that you are, instead of experiencing yourself through the human. And so there are gentle reminders, and some of us, it's been more abrupt reminders. And the things in which you go on to do after are astounding, I'm hearing. Astounding. Let's use that keyword. Astounding. Astonishing. Something that is astonishing means extremely surprising, amazing, or impressive. So much that it causes a strong emotional reaction. So there is a form of alchemy in this. Something astonishing makes you feel like, wow, I didn't expect that. Surprise and admiration at the same time. The astonishment is in the remembrance itself, okay? It could be your progress, like your soul's progress is far beyond what it is that is expected. It's something that breaks expectations and shifts your perception, makes you pause and just take it in. So it's an awe-inspiring moment. And to be in awe, we actually did a reading on this, a message. Let me go ahead and read it. To be in awe. We did this for the Libra full moon, so this feels like a full circle moment. Listen to this. UC Berkeley researchers tested 7 positive emotions to see which one had the strongest effect on the body's immune system. Joy didn't win. Love didn't win. Gratitude didn't win. The emotion that produced the lowest levels of dis-ease linked to inflammation was awe. This is why a walk in nature can feel like medicine. Why standing at the edge of ocean calms something words can't reach. Why music sometimes makes you cry for no reason you can explain. Your body isn't being poetic. It's down-regulating a threat response at a cellular level because the emotion of awe is telling your nervous system that you belong to something bigger than your problems. Keltner's later research found that awe also quiets the default mode network, the same brain region linked to the ego, rumination, and depression. In brain scans, people experiencing awe showed reduced self-referential processing and increased activity in regions tied to connection and collaboration. The ego gets smaller, the sense of being part of something gets larger, and the body heals in response. You don't need retreat. You don't need a substance. You need an experience your ego cannot shrink to fit. A sky it can't explain. A kindness that breaks your cynicism. A silence so total that your inner narrator runs out of things to say. That's not inspiration. According to research, that's your immune system recalibrating because for a moment you remembered what you're part of. And you're part of it. It wouldn't be whole without your contribution, without your participation. So I suppose this is a message of remembering how important you are and insignificant temporal moments may be in the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna love an Evie write that. I think there's nothing else that needs to be said. That's it. So, if you're not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing because we'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. Also check out Ultraspirit if we're looking for some high quality AA grade gemstones. 1/3 of the proceeds are donated towards auto sanctuaries. You have 2 discount codes found in the description box. And until next time, bye.